Okay, well, good morning, Vandals. Woo. Well, I have to say our semester's off to a great start, and we're excited to turn the page, to begin a new era and launch a fresh strategic plan that builds upon the many accomplishments of the past 6 years. Today, we will celebrate the milestones we've achieved together. We've had a tremendous year. We not only surpassed goals in enrollment, research, and fundraising, we set records in each of these important areas. As we recognize and reflect upon all we've accomplished together, we also want to map out where we're headed next as a university. The new strategic plan was crafted last year and includes input from our entire community, including internal and external stakeholders. We are now prepared to put this 5-year plan into action. With the help of ASUI President Shea Arogandade and faculty member Barry Robeson, we'll discuss our strategic pillars and some of the work that is already propelling us forward. Before we discuss the next era, we want to congratulate our employees, our students, and all of our Vandal family on another amazing year for the University of Idaho. It's worth reflecting on the impactful work happening across our university. I'm incredibly proud of the gains we've made in so many areas, beginning with enrollment. Our numbers will not be official until Census Day next month, but we're expecting a record number of students on campus this fall. Yeah, thank you. Students continue to seek out the U of I because they get an outstanding yet affordable education. We're seeing great growth across the university. The College of Law has seen a 36% enrollment increase over the past 5 years and has already grown beyond capacity in the new law building in Boise. Our enrollment success fuels our financial health, and our budget management has turned into an overwhelming strength thanks to the hard work of our employees and thoughtful stewardship of our finances. This year, based on financial success of fiscal year 2025, we will distribute nearly $2.4 million through our Vandal hybrid budget model to colleges and units. Those gen ed revenues will be strategically invested across the university to support things like classroom improvements, employee retention, technology upgrades, and student retention programs. Last month, the governor announced a 3% reversion for fiscal year 2026. For the University of Idaho, that means a $5 million reduction in state appropriations. Full details about the budget reduction and our plans to move forward are available in the memo sent on August 19th. Let me be clear that this is a state funding issue, and recent reports on revenue projections indicate that these cuts will likely be permanent, but it is in no way a reflection on the great work happening at the University of Idaho. Since my return to campus, we've been committed to supporting sound fiscal management and remain in a strong financial position. Though the hybrid budget model and our P3 initiatives over the past 3 years, or I should say we've added about $15 million in investments to our strategic priorities. We'll continue to deliver on our land grant mission with focus, discipline, and yes, optimism. Our alumni and supporters have stepped up over the past 5 years. As you know, we surpassed our $500 million goal for the Brave, Bold, Unstoppable campaign 8 months before our December 31st deadline. And this caps the largest fundraising campaign in state history. Not only that, but we've shattered our previous giving records in the fiscal year 2025 with nearly $68 million raised over 12 months. The generosity of our Vandal family is our secret sauce for success, and it is the envy of our peers. We will be celebrating our campaign throughout the fall and spring, both here on campus and in Boise. Our research enterprise continues to grow and thrive thanks to the hard work of our employees. We once again set a record for research expenditures topping $140 million in 2024. As we deliver on our land-grant mission of access for students and research for our state, we provide $2.5 billion in economic impact to Idaho each and every year. In February, the University of Idaho joined an elite tier of research universities in the nation as a Carnegie R1 institution. As one of the top 4% of colleges and universities in the U.S., we are the first Idaho institution to join this prestigious group. Thank you. The R1 designation embodies our land-grant mission to elevate students and power our state through research. We're planting our flag as Idaho's research university. Hopefully you've seen our R1 marketing campaign on billboards across the state or bus wraps in Boise, and there's much more to come as we tell our research story. We're national leaders in a wide variety of research, including water, soil, agriculture, forestry, fire, and artificial intelligence. We'll talk more about our work with AI in a few minutes, but our faculty are embracing this new tool and using it to great effect in many different fields. Last spring, we strengthened our relationship with Idaho National Laboratory through a new super agreement. We've worked with INL for over 80 years, and we've worked to develop safe, efficient, and sustainable nuclear energy solutions. The super agreement focuses on building the university's unique strengths in nuclear materials and fuel cycle engineering, nuclear and integrated energy systems, power systems, and cybersecurity. Several of our long-awaited research projects are now off the ground and are fueling discovery. Our new world-leading deep soil ecotron facility was unveiled this summer. And as you see on the screen here, our team is busy loading giant soil samples, including one from our Sandpoint Organic Agriculture Center. The soil samples were transported to campus and placed in the lab to study, and that work is underway. This new research facility allows scientists to study soil at depths up to 10 feet, the deepest of any facility in the world. Their discoveries will offer major insights into soil health, carbon capture, water quality, and much more. In the Magic Valley, the Center for Agriculture, Food, and the Environment is nearing completion and scheduled to be fully operational early next year. CAFE will be the largest research dairy in the nation and will boost the #1 agricultural commodity in Idaho. With a rotary milking parlor and ample research space, the dairy and experimental farm will produce technological and process solutions at scale to help the industry grow and yield a workforce with the most advanced knowledge in the country. The new built Parma Research and Extension Center is a key hub for growers in southwestern Idaho. Our U of I research in Parma supports Idaho's thriving seed industry and delivers solutions for everything from alfalfa pollinators to blossom thinning of fruit trees. Thanks to funding secured by Congressman Simpson, Rinker Rock Creek Ranch is developed into an ideal setting for research on rangeland conservation, wildlife habitat, water cycles, and more. The newly renovated and upgraded Nancy M. Cumming Research Extension and Education Center near Salmon also produces real-world research that provides valuable insights for the livestock industry as well as learning opportunities for U of I students and the community. And our beautiful McCall Field Campus. A new dining hall is set to be built early next year. The dining facility will triple capacity of the old hall and improve efficiency while serving thousands of McCall Outdoor Science School students and hundreds of Idaho teachers each year. On the Moscow campus, our growing Army, Air Force, Space Force, and Navy and Marine Corps commissioning programs and veteran services are spread across campus in 5 different buildings. Plans are in place to remodel Targhee Hall, an old, unused residence hall, to create a full-service ROTC and veteran services facility, including a wellness center to serve officer candidates recovering from training injuries and veterans undergoing disability rehabilitation. The state committed $8 million. Thank you. Yeah. The state committed $8 million to cover half the project cost, and we're raising the funds to cover the balance. Our new Meat Science and Innovation Center will be up and running this fall. It provides much-needed space for workforce training, teaching, meat science research, along with the new home for Vandal brand meats. And this retail space will be up and running on game days to meet our tailgating needs for years to come. Yeah. Very important to me. Just across the street at our new state-of-the-art, well, not so new anymore, I guess, state-of-the-art potato germplasm laboratory. It is advancing research on Idaho's signature export potatoes. It directly serves more than 80 growers and researchers each year, and the lab maintains and propagates 300 potato varieties. And 90% of all potatoes grown in Idaho can be traced back to our lab. So despite the enrollment cliff beginning this year, we're fortifying our base and investing in our residential infrastructure on campus. This isn't a large-scale expansion in capacity. New builds are replacing outdated structures on the east side of campus, and in phases, our undergraduate housing is getting a much-needed remodel. The South Hill neighborhood residence improvements are well underway, and by next fall, we'll provide new graduate student housing that will help us attract graduate students. Our undergraduate residence hall improvements are also coming along nicely. Three floors in Theophilus Tower are remodeled, and students are enjoying the new amenities like air conditioning. Especially important on a day like today. We're also making improvements in the Wallace Residence Center. These ongoing projects are crucial for student recruitment and retention. Across campus, we're tackling numerous deferred maintenance projects, from the new entrance to the ad building to upgrades in Hayes Hall and new HVAC systems in the Ag Science building. This summer alone, we put more money into campus projects than at any time in modern history. We like to joke, if there's a road that hasn't been torn up, let us know and we'll make sure and get right on that. We've invested about $40 million of our own money and additional money from the state's permanent building fund, the state legislature, and the governor to preserve our historic campus and improve conditions for our students and employees. We'll benefit from these investments for many years to come. And our ICCU arena is the envy of our competitors in the Big Sky, and we look forward to filling it with Vandal fans this year. Our student athletes continue to excel in competition and in the classroom. The Vandals brought home the President's Cup this summer as the top scholar athletes in the Big Sky Conference. This was the first time the University of Idaho has won this honor. We're very proud of how well our teams represent us on the field and in our communities. And it is September, and that means it's one of my favorite times of year, Vandal football. We're thrilled to have Coach Thomas Ford leading our team, and we're excited to support our Vandals as they make a run at the Big Sky Conference title. So let's get out to support them this Saturday as we host the University of St. Thomas. Our volleyball team are road warriors. They're traveling to Seattle, Fargo, Nashville, and Flagstaff before returning to Memorial Gym to take on the Grizz September 27th. Personally, I can say this is the most athletic and talented team I've seen since my arrival here, and I'm excited to see how they progress throughout the season. And our Vandal soccer team is also on a quest to get back on top in the Big Sky and have an exciting schedule lined up, including a home game against Boise State September 18th. Ooh. The games are truly fun to watch. So take in a game and cheer on our talented, intelligent student athletes. We've done an incredible job building momentum for our university together, but now we're entering a new era. And we've built a 5-year strategic plan that helps us leverage our strengths, utilize technology, and serve our students in a rapidly changing world. Last year, Provost Lawrence outlined the process we undertook to form our new strategic plan, And that 10-month phase was exhaustive as employees, students, alumni, and committee members participated throughout the process. The engagement, insights, and input that led to a plan that provides a straightforward roadmap that will take us through 2030. It consists of 5 pillars. As always, students take the top priority. Ignite student success is our first pillar. It places emphasis on access, opportunities to boost success and engagement of students so that they're prepared for rewarding careers and fulfilling lives. Shea Arogandande is here to share her journey at the U of I, which underlies many of the keys to student success. If you haven't yet met Shea, I'm proud to introduce her as our new ASUI president. Shea?
Thank you, President Green. Good morning. My name is Shea Arugundade, and I have the honor of serving as the student body president here at the University of Idaho. I often say that I'm a first-generation immigrant and a second-generation Vandal. Years ago, my parents were searching for a place to build a better future. Moving from Nigeria to Idaho was no easy feat, and I'm often asked, why here? Out of all the places in the world, why Moscow, Idaho? When I was younger, I wondered the exact same thing. As I grew older, however, I realized that the culture and community of this small yet vibrant town have shaped me in ways for which I will always be grateful. That's why, as a bright-eyed senior in high school, choosing the University of Idaho was an easy decision. This was and is home. As I toured the campus, which I knew like the back of my hand, I knew that these next few years would be some of the best of my life. The University of Idaho's commitment to igniting student success and opportunity is what gave me the confidence to reach for my goals, however lofty they may have seemed. I found that spark when a few students introduced me to Dr. Bill Smith and the Martin Institute. His welcoming demeanor and genuine excitement for the program led me to add an international studies minor and ignited my interest in international policy and development. Being part of this program opened my eyes to a world I didn't know existed and gave me opportunities to represent Chile at the National Model United Nations in New York, meet other Vandals changing the world in Washington, D.C., and form friendships with some of the best people I know. I found that spark when I attended a Black Student Union meeting. Seeing other individuals with similar lived experiences was new, exciting, and welcoming. And that year, I became the vice president of that amazing organization and helped execute successful large-scale events such as the Black Excellence Gala. I found that spark when I applied to be a part of ASUI my freshman year and later ran for ASUI president. Although running for such a significant position was daunting and scary, the people and experiences I had on this campus propelled me to move forward. I stand here today as a proud product of all the tools, resources, and opportunities that this university has given me. I stand here today proud of all my achievements because of the community that got me here. I stand here today because 20 years ago, this campus gave my family the resources to ignite their own success. I stand here today because the University of Idaho chose to invest in me. Thank you, and as always, go Vandals.
Thank you, Shea. We look forward to trying to keep up with you throughout the year. One of our signature initiatives with Pillar 1 reimagines the first-year experience for students with technology-enhanced support. We're working to integrate our existing onboarding programs with AI-powered tools that deliver personalized, data-driven experiences, feedback, and timely interventions. This strengthens student connections, boosts retention, and fosters long-term success. Another way we're boosting student success is through our housing and residence life programs. This summer, the U of I's Residence Hall Association was named the 2025 School of the Year by the National Association of Colleges and University Residence Halls. Fortunately, they weren't here looking at when we were everything tore up. Our U of I team was recognized for excellence in student engagement, campus involvement, residential programming, and national involvement. Our second pillar, drive experiential learning for all students, underlines the importance of learning by doing. We already are executing on many of our initiatives here through things like undergraduate research, capstone courses, and internships. Our goal is for every student to take part in significant experiential learning. We're developing policies, infrastructure, and technology support to support every aspect of experiential learning. This requires coordination between faculty, employers, and community partnerships. And AI can also help us in this area. Again, with this pillar, we have great examples of established best practices across campus. The U of I's capstone courses provide students the opportunity to collaborate with companies and community organizations on real-world projects. And in the College of Art and Architecture, the Design Build program worked with the Moscow Middle School this year on a beautiful outdoor classroom space. In the College of Engineering, students work with NASA, Schweitzer Engineering, and many others to tackle projects with the guidance of mentors in their respective industries. Our third pillar is adapt the educational model. 5 years from now, education will not look the same as it does today. And our aim is to deliver the Vandal experience to all learners, regardless of how, where, or when they pursue their educational goals. We want to expand our academic reach and regional impact, build our transfer pathway networks within our community colleges, and expand continuing and adult education in areas of workforce need. Regardless of modality, timing, location, or pathway, all students will have access to experiential learning, advising, tutoring, targeted professional development, and AI-enabled support systems. They will even have access to social events through online and regional communities. We've made great strides in this area in recent years. In 2024, we launched the Continuing Adult and Professional Education, or CAPE initiative. CAPE aims to enhance the performance of our non-academic and non-traditional programming and encourage the development of new programs by reducing the overhead and administrative burdens on university units that offer these programs. By lowering the barriers to delivering programming, CAPE will promote creativity, experimentation, and educational variety, and allow adult learners to earn valuable professional certificates, badges, and credentials. The fourth pillar is harness research innovation and partnership. We want to build on our tremendous research success and statewide network of extension centers and programs by developing and refining high-impact focus areas. We will continue to invest in research infrastructure and support. We're going to strengthen coordination with industry partners and increase collaboration with government and sister institutions in Idaho. And we must address Idaho's healthcare worker shortage. We're investing in building and enhancing research infrastructure. These investments include a secure research facility, increased computing and capacity for generative AI, and updated lab space to support emerging research focus areas. We're also strengthening the training of postdoctoral scholars and graduate students as partners in the research enterprise. Our research partnerships power Idaho industry. Sugar beets are a major commodity in southern Idaho, and U of I faculty, students, and extension specialists are working with companies like Amalgamated Sugar to use AI in their operations. Amalgamated Sugar is one of the Treasure Valley's largest employers, and their sugar beet processing is a precise science. They've continually had factory shutdowns and delays due to sugar beet fibers causing clogs in their dryers and even fires. By using 10 years of data and measuring the moisture content in sugar beets, an AI algorithm is able to predict and avoid potential issues in the factory as the pulp is processed. This allows the company to keep their factories up and running, reducing costs, maximizing revenue, and preventing dangerous warehouse fires. In the healthcare realm, we recently gained approval from the state board to launch a Master's of Science in Nursing program to help meet the dire need for nurses, especially in rural Idaho. About 45% of the state's RNs live in Ada and Canyon counties, leaving many of Idaho's rural counties woefully short of these critical medical workers. We're partnering with North Idaho College and hospitals throughout the state to launch this program and ultimately improve health care in our region. We are proud of our 50-year physician education partnership with the University of Washington that has returned over 600 doctors to practice in the state, especially in rural areas. We're excited that the Idaho legislature has asked us to explore additional expansion in medical education through a partnership with the University of Utah. We're currently working hard to bring that partnership to life. The fifth pillar, optimize operational excellence, includes plans for our own data warehouse to inform our decision-making. We are also seeking to simplify and automate processes through AI. First and foremost, we will attract, retain, reward, and support the best employees and build a culture of efficient collaboration and execution around projects. As Barry will speak to in just a moment, we're ahead of most of our peers in this space. Let me share just one example, and Barry will share much more. U of I music professor Miranda Wilson set out to translate a 1929 book, The Mechanics and Aesthetics of Cello Playing, one I've read over and over again. It was written by a celebrated cellist and professor, Hugo Becker. The book was written in century-old German, and additionally, the book's specialized terminology would have challenged a hired translator. The U of I's Institute for Interdisciplinary Data Sciences, using large language models and other AI tools, produced an astonishingly accurate translation, a project that would have taken a translator months to produce, but took our team less than 20 hours in total. One great example. If you read through the strategic plan, you'll notice a theme of both building on our tradition and utilizing technology. In a short time, the U of I has built a tremendous knowledge base around AI, and we're already using it in innovative ways. Barry Robeson is one of our leading experts in AI, and we've invited him to share some of the exciting things happening here on campus and how this technology plays a key role in our strategic plan. Barry?
Thanks, President Green. Good morning. It's an honor to represent the remarkable students, staff, and faculty who are driving AI innovation at the University of Idaho, and I'm excited to share some of their impacts with you. Generative AI is a profoundly powerful technology. It presents incredible opportunities for our university, but also undeniable risks. So let me be clear about one thing. AI is a tool, not a compass. The tools we use will always evolve. Our fundamental mission does not. Our mission remains constant: to advance knowledge and understanding, prepare our students to thrive and lead, and lift up our state and our nation. Let me provide a few examples where AI is already helping us achieve our mission and supporting our new strategic plan. Let's start with operational excellence. Many of you know Sarah Martinik, Vandal alum, Director of Sponsored Programs, ruthless enforcer of research policy. In an epic twist of irony, Sarah is also now a principal investigator. She leads our $4.5 million NSF grant to build AI tools for research administration, and we've been collaborating with Sarah and her team on this project for more than 18 months. Now, in that time, I've learned that the staff at the University of Idaho are very, very good at doing more with less. I've seen Excel spreadsheets that I think are literal sorcery. But there's a limit. You've been doing more with less for too long. It's not sustainable, and it's time for an upgrade. So what does that upgrade look like? Well, one example is a system we cheekily named the Vandalizer. I keep waiting for University Communications and Marketing to notice, but so far so good. Vandalizer uses artificial intelligence to transform tedious, find, copy, paste workflows into secure, one-click operations. Tasks that used to take staff anywhere from 20 minutes to an hour are now done in seconds. This is already saving the Office of Sponsored Programs thousands of hours per year. And let me be clear, it isn't about automating jobs away. It's about augmenting our staff, freeing them to apply their experience and their intellect to the complex problems a machine can never solve. The AI technology we're working on also scales to solve massive institutional challenges. For example, about a year ago, we faced a critical compliance project that required analyzing 56,198 internal documents. Manually, that task would have taken 5 years and $500,000 we didn't have. The Research, Computing, and Data Services team in IIDS, conveniently sitting together in Nerd Row in the middle of the room, did it in 50 hours. The project's done. The university's in compliance. AI helped us do in a week what should have taken 5 years. But of course, I'm certain that was the last time the university will be tasked with some giant new requirement and provided no new resources. Our AI work is also about connection. To harness research, innovation, and partnerships, we need to make our faculty's research more discoverable. So we're collaborating with the University of Idaho Library to build an AI-powered system that does just that. System will allow a farmer in Magic Valley or a tech company in Boise to use natural language, not technical jargon or restrictive keywords, to find the exact expert they need. And this system connects us with each other as well. It can help a grad student find the perfect faculty mentor, an undergrad discover a life-changing research project, or help our faculty forge new interdisciplinary collaborations. And let's not forget that this pillar of experiential learning is of equal benefit to our students and the university itself. All of our AI projects have involved talented students from the colleges of engineering, science, business and economics, letters, arts and social sciences, and art and architecture. This experience is not something we provide to the students in a vacuum. The success of these projects relies on the talents and drive and creativity of our students. We are already a national leader in applying AI in higher education, but we also know this is one of the most disruptive technologies in history. It presents enormous challenges for privacy, security, misinformation, bias, environmental impacts, and equitable access. These are not small problems. But we are a university, and we don't run from challenges like these. We run towards them. We bring our brightest minds together from every discipline to solve them. That is our purpose as an institution. We will use this tool to build a more efficient and connected university, but our mission remains constant. Advance knowledge and understanding, prepare our students to thrive and lead, and lift up our state and our nation. Thank you.
Thank you, Barry. We appreciate your great work and your literally national leadership in this emerging technology, and to our team too. Just know how much we appreciate what you've been doing. As we rolled out our strategic plan for the state board this summer, we compiled examples of work we're already doing within each pillar. It's an impressive list. As I said earlier, we are building on a strong foundation, and we plan to continue the outstanding work that elevates students and illuminates our state. When this plan is fully implemented in 5 years, the University of Idaho will be transformed. We will have stronger systems using the latest technology and greater support and recognition for our employees. Our targeted resources will ensure every student has an exceptional experience that prepares them to be engaged citizens and effective leaders in Idaho. We've assigned leads for each pillar who will ensure we're making progress towards our goals. Our pillar champions serve as ambassadors and leaders driving the implementation, promoting cross-unit collaboration, removing barriers, and fostering measurable achievement. We're making substantial investments in this strategic plan. Literally, this week we are launching an internal grant funding application process. All members of the campus community are invited to submit projects, including a proposed budget and a description of the anticipated return on investment. I'm a finance guy, you know. But proposals demonstrating the greatest ROI and broad institutional impact will receive priority consideration. Michelle Bartlett is working with Provost Lawrence and I to lead and support all of the many initiatives that will make our strategic plan come to life. So watch for additional details via email in the coming days. Our strategic plan website is now live, and the QR code on this slide, is it there? Yes, on this slide, if you can see it. It's kind of tiny. Will help bring you there. And we'll be branding our strategic plan pillars on mobile backgrounds, desktop backgrounds, email signatures, posters, magnets, keychains, napkins, you know, I don't know, banners, I guess. We are grateful for employees, students, alumni, and community members who've helped us reach our goals and to set these new standards. As we enter a new era, it's an exciting time to be a Vandal. We look forward to celebrating with you throughout the year and building an even brighter future together. As always, go Vandals! So as you know, we traditionally open this up for Q&A, and we will do that. But before we open it up for questions, let me start by discussing a number of questions we've received this past week regarding our new website. Yeah, woohoo! Our previous website was so old and was well past its useful life, and it was no longer supported by the vendor or by Microsoft. It hampered our search engine optimization efforts, which are critical to our recruiting. A new website enables us to elevate our marketing efforts to prospective students and connect potential donors with the projects that most interest them. It is also designed for how our future students search out information, not how we're structured organizationally. The site launched on August 18th, just when faculty returned and orientation for new students began. And as with all new systems, we recognize that not everything is working as intended, and there are still many improvements to be made. The transition has impacted all employees and all students. As with all change, it is frustrating and inconvenient, particularly when you're gearing up for classes. Our teams thought big and built a new site that creates a user journey for prospective students. And this isn't your out-of-the-box website. Our website gets over 1 million hits a month and is a major driver of our enrollment. The new site is strongly outperforming the old site in virtually every measure we're tracking. Our quality assurance score, which measures the customer's journey on the site, jumped nearly 14 points to 91 out of 100. We're also seeing much higher scores in search engine optimization, accessibility, and digital certainty. U of I web content will now be available in 2 distinct areas. One for external audiences, and this is the one that we're all working hard on right now, and it's the uidaho.edu webpage. And we have another one, which we're currently loading with data, and that's for internal use only, the inside of U of I Internet on SharePoint. I know this is a big change, and change is hard. But it is the right thing to do, as most organizations made this split years ago. By separating our internal information, we can focus on the web page to optimize search engine optimization and enable AI bots that scrape our information to provide to users, driving enrollment. Internally, we can focus on information our employees deem important and useful. Know that I have made addressing the biggest risks concerning this conversion our #1 priority. I apologize that you're having issues, and we're going to fix it. Our entire leadership team is not just marketing and IT. All of our leadership are focused on solving the high-risk issues as they arise. They're working diligently to address concerns and improve our online resources in both the internal and the external locations. I know many of you are helping us build these pages and are working hard, besides your day jobs, working hard to load this data, and we are very grateful for your help. In the coming weeks, updates will continue to roll out. We appreciate your patience as we navigate this transition. Once fully operational, these resources will better serve both external and internal audiences. So again, apologies for the difficulties we're having. Thank you for notifying us of the things that aren't working. We've got a list, we prioritize them, we're knocking them off one by one. So now with that, I'm happy to answer other questions. For those on UI Live, you can use the QR code on the screen to join. There it is. Or submit a question via the Q&A feature on Zoom. So, and we'll take it in the audience as well. Hello, Francesca.
Yeah. President Green, first I want to take this university-wide opportunity to thank you for your steady and panic-free leadership as we navigate this yet another storm, okay, this one of gigantic, thank you. Of gigantic proportion. I also want to personally thank Vice President Chris Nomura and his team for their tireless efforts to protect our valuable research. Now, there are many things that we will have little or no control over, but I think there is a lot we can do to preserve our core principles as teachers and mentors. It seems to me that the best we can do is continue not doing what we were not doing anyways, namely indoctrinating students and forcing them to embrace a certain ideology, which, you know, we never did. So I think, like my grandmother used to say, you know, don't bandage your head if you're not yet broken, okay? And, you know. And again, so as I speak for faculty, so there will always be uninformed students who will confront professors for teaching science or evolution. It seems to me, I heard, but don't quote me on this, I heard that's already happened in biology. I'm confident the university will have our backs, and I encourage every instructor to be vigilant of student feedback, as we call it today, student feedback on teaching effectiveness for, you know, for potential false accusation of indoctrination and so on. And so with that, go Vandals.
Go Vandals, yeah, thank you. So to answer that question, I'll just say I agree with what she just said. Hi.
Hi, President Green.
It's good to see you again.
Good seeing you too. I did a little tally. You all mentioned AI 27 times, which is a lot, right? And I understand that the technology is here, quote unquote, but you only mentioned sustainability or carbon emissions twice, and I was wondering if you're planning to document the emissions of artificial intelligence, which is exponentially more than regular technological uses, and if they're going to be put into the scope 3 of the greenhouse gas inventory, and if they are, I really worry about the integrity of our climate action plan and the ever kind of changing nature of it potentially being greenwashed.
Yeah, that's a fair question and a very, very good one. And so technical, I'm not sure I can answer it all. Is Sarah here by any chance? Sarah's not here. Well, is she?
Sarah Dawson.
Oh, that's Sarah. No, yeah. I was going to say the one, we have a lot of Sarahs at the university. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was looking more for those managing my sustainability initiatives. Well, let me say that I know it's a concern, and we are looking at it, because you're right, AI, at least the data centers that have been built for cyber, for Bitcoin and other cyber assets, which will now probably be used and turned over to be doing AI work, are huge uses of energy. And we also know that there's a huge lack of what, the AI people call compute. So there's probably going to be more data centers built, and then you're going to need energy to power all that. For here on campus, we've added some capability. It's actually added INL, and that will be added into, our carbon footprint, if you will. The good news is that, INL's energy sources are fairly sustainable, and they don't even charge us for the electricity, which is really great, because we're using quite a bit of it. I would also let you know that we continue to monitor very carefully our plan. And I don't know if we're going to move up. As you know, right now we are ranked in gold as far as our sustainability initiatives. We've been strongly moving towards platinum. I don't know if we're going to quite get there this round or not, but we're darn close. So it does remain a priority. You won't see it in a strategic pillar, but that does not mean that we don't think it's important or that it's going to go by the wayside.
Okay, just might need some more air conditioners. Thank you.
Yeah, that adds to it as well. You're right, yeah.
Hello, President Green. Hello, everybody. I'm Kristen Haltener. I am faculty in sociology. I'm also your vice chair of Faculty Senate this year. And I'd like to build off of what Francesca was saying with a how question. So Francesca mentioned recent threats to the work that we're doing through things like grant cuts from the federal government. We also have faced threats to academic freedom and our First Amendment rights through the state. We have students who are threatening faculty. We have budget cuts, whether we comply with these laws or not. We see other red states cutting and getting rid of faculty senates. So in this climate, my question is, how? How will we work to defend the integrity of this university by preserving a culture of inclusion, especially for those who were targeted last year? A commitment to intellectual rigor and our ability as faculty to prepare global citizens. How will we continue to preserve that and also preserve the collaboration that we have with our faculty senate between administrators and employees in our shared governance model?
Yeah, thank you, Kristen. Our values haven't changed, and it's what's kept us on this course for a long time. So, I hear you. Things are changing out in the community. I always tell my team, focus on what we can control, not what we can't, and we will respond to those things that happen to us that are out of our control. And so that's how we keep moving the university forward. As far as how we protect our values, I think we all have to live them and live by them. Nobody can really force a value change on us. It's who we are. So, I need your help, the faculty's help, our students' help, by just acting responsibly and living by our values. Pointing out when we're not living by our values. I think we talked a little bit about, we never have indoctrinated here. I believe we've looked pretty damn hard. We had AI look hard, all right? So, every once in a while, there's something that pops up. But by and large, our people are good people who are trying to show both sides of every issue, who care about each other no matter where they come from or what their points of view may be. So we just need to, I think, continue to live our values. And I think that will get us where we need to go. I'm a firm believer in that. So, it's not my responsibility. It's not my leadership's responsibility. It's all of our responsibility to live those values. Yes.
Hello. I would first off like to say, as a freshman here and someone who's going to be here
Thank
for the
you
next
for being
5
here.
years.
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing what your plan is and how this college transforms in the next 5 years. But you mentioned with doctors, having more doctors in rural areas. And as someone from a rural area, I found that really cool. And I was wondering if you have any plans for other rural projects or in the next 5 years or so. Or
Yeah, thank you for that. Well, it's kind of throughout our strategic plan, and thank you for saying that. And by the way, it's our strategic plan, right? there are some things that I would have liked to have seen in there that aren't, based on feedback. And some things that that I was listening to, and I think, I really appreciate them being in there, right? So, but it truly was our stakeholders. And so as a freshman going forward, you'll realize when you listen to students and you listen to faculty and you listen to other administration, you listen to alumni and you listen to the business community and you listen to your legislators, you come up with, well, you can come up with a hell of a lot. But the idea is to whittle it down, which I think we've done a really good job with here and try to get it going. As far as rural, I couldn't agree with you more. We have healthcare deserts, and I personally have trouble keeping doctors, and I know there's places where you can't even get one. And so I'm very proud of our mission there. I also notice the same with other healthcare providers, and that's why what we're focused on with the University of Utah also is they are building out their rural network, and they already have a network of clinics throughout the mountain states, including some in Idaho. So we will be able to leverage all of that with them for healthcare. But we also are the land grant, so we have physical operations in 40 out of 42 counties, or 42 out of 44 counties. Boy, I've got to go back and do my civics. And those other two we serve by neighboring counties. And we have research stations, throughout the state. And the primary mission of all of that is, again, to get our knowledge out to rural communities. We teach everything from drones to money management to, food safety, throughout the state of Idaho. And one of our pillars is all about transforming, transforming the educational model, and that's going to be about how do we deliver all that knowledge even more effectively to our adult learners and non-traditional learners throughout the state. How do we get that to them? To me, that's incredibly important. As you might know, we had another strategy around that didn't quite work out, but we're going to continue to move that forward because, we can't leave those folks behind. And more than ever, we need folks to have degrees, to up their game, if you will, because it's going to become even more competitive out there in the future.
Thank you. I appreciate your focus on all areas of Idaho, not just the densely populated ones.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for the great question.
Good morning, President Green.
Good morning.
My name's Milo Flint. I'm a research aide here, and I appreciate that in your talk you mentioned preserving our historic campus. And I'm a strong proponent of if it ain't broke, don't fix it, and I'm not one for keeping up with the Joneses architecturally. So I'm kind of curious what your priorities in the physical development of our campus spaces are, and what makes something historic or worthy of preservation, and what our priorities are there.
Yeah, well, it's a good question. There are many more experts on what's historic, and we've got people in our College of Art and Architecture who help us with that, right? I do look forward and listen to what they have to say. I grew up, as most of you know, in this community. I grew up on this campus, and I love our old buildings. And so for us, maintaining that is important. It doesn't mean some don't get tore down, just, particularly if they're no longer can serve a function, and that's really all the South Hill, why we tore everything down there. Those were just down out getting dangerous, so I couldn't in good conscience not do something about it. But on the other hand, Hayes Hall, that refurbishing that building makes absolutely no financial sense. But it makes historical sense, and it's part of our campus, and it's something that we need to maintain. So I think you have to look at it, building by building, and you need to prioritize them against everything else that you're doing, and just make those tough calls sometimes. But I love our campus, and I love these old buildings, and I particularly love Memorial Gym. It just has a soft spot in my heart, right? So, I just know that. And something I also said to the team, but when I first arrived, and I still believe this, the more pedestrian we can make this campus, and I know this is going to make people mad about parking again, but But the more pedestrian we can make this campus, the better. So that's the way we feel about it.
Thank you for that. I really appreciate that you and others are sensitive to the value of our structures beyond the budget books.
Yeah, great. Thank you for the question. You bet.
Hi, President Green. I'm Sarah Castle. I'm an assistant professor of mathematics and education. And so, as previously noted, we've heard a lot about AI, and at the same time, we're hearing parts about adapting the educational model, efficiency, all those sorts of pieces. And we're also hearing about the risks of AI as well. And so, especially at a university that really prioritizes students, I believe that teaching and the university is inherently relational. And as we heard by, I believe it's Shay, that it's the people here that count, that those are the ones that are making the impacts that are changing students' lives. And so how do you plan on ensuring this relational element to the university while using AI specifically as a tool? And I especially want to note for staff here, because they are the ones that make this university run. They're the ones that do so much invisible labor that is just like incredible, and they're underpaid at the same time. And so, because our university wouldn't be with what it is without them. So how do you plan on supporting staff and faculty and in this endeavor, and supporting them as humans, especially from a business perspective? If you see that you take the AI first model, that's been like the downfall of Duolingo and other things. So not only relational, but from a business standpoint.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the question. Well, first, I challenge the assumption that it's AI first. Our values come first. And if you go to our strategic plan website, you'll start with our mission, our vision, and our values, not the strategic plan, right? And you're right, it's the people here. I mean, we all have those memories of those professors that made a difference for us all. I don't see that changing. Professors may use different technologies to deliver and actually become more efficient. One of our professors in art and architecture is like developing, artificial labs. You've got actually an instructor there. It's got a personality that's like the instructor that delivers it. And that instructor is explaining how to work in a lab and can take questions and give back. And that frees that faculty member up to their classes and to the one-on-ones, and can still be available to answer any questions that a student has. But it's more efficient, right? And not every faculty member may choose to do that. In fact, probably most won't. But my point is that we need to make those tools available to help faculty spend time on those areas that they want to focus on, that is value added, not on these mundane things that maybe they don't get as much value out of. For our staff, the same thing. I say this all the time. It's not just the staff that are underpaid. We're all underpaid, and it's part of, living here. We choose to live here. And we could go 8 miles away and probably get paid a lot more. And I have to say, I just appreciate all of you, because you're here, because we are the Vandal family, right? We're here for each other. And, we will continue to fight for our budgets. Let me say, is as we become more efficient, we'll have more money to pay people. That's what happened last time. We reduced headcount in 2019. Yet our, every dollar that's come back to us in those savings has really gone to help us increase our faculty and staff salaries. It's gone to investment to make faculty and the student experience and staff experience better. And that's what we want to continue to do. And I think Barry mentioned this, with the research in particular, the research group. It's a prime example of our vision. And that is where here was something that was taking a task that was taking hours and hours to do every day, that now is done in a matter of a few minutes. And now that those research faculty and staff can work on those things that truly add value, right? So hopefully that answers your question.
Scott, a related question on staff from the online crowd. You touched on rewarding and retaining staff. What plans are being made to recognize and retain quality staff? How is the university supporting growth of employees and honoring those doing more with less? There's no bonus system and recognition is limited. How are we changing that?
Yeah, so First of all, we can't put in a bonus system. The state just does not, it's not in part of their rubric. But what we can usually do is have merit pay, which, by the way, many of you don't want, I might point out as well. I'm a big fan of merit pay. I hope next year we have another opportunity to do that. But, we do our best to reward our staff and our faculty. And as you know, it's something that we've put a lot of effort in over the last few years, from the Great Colleges to Work For surveys, and both recognizing what people are doing and doing our best to reward them when we can. The reality is you work for, a state entity, and so we're limited by what the state gives us. Now, we can generate other areas of revenue, and we've worked really hard to do that. And that provides a lot of more opportunities to our people to make more money and to have better labs and to do more interesting research and to upgrade classrooms. And we've been doing that. As I mentioned, we've distributed $15 million over the last 3 years. That was $15 million that did not exist at this university 6 years ago. We developed that money through the Vandal Hybrid and through our P3 financing. So we're working hard to improve everybody's lives. I often think, we don't really look around and see it all the time. It doesn't always feel great when you're trying to pay your bills, but we are very focused on it, and we think we've made pretty good progress trying to close the gap in these last few years. Having to say that, we know we got a long way to go, but I don't want to ever promise that we're going to get you there, get you to nirvana, because, again, if you want to make top dollar, you need to go work for a private institution like, well, I would say Harvard, but they're losing all their money right now. But something like that. If you want to truly be part of something bigger, something part of a mission where we are illuminating and elevating students throughout the state, first generation students who wouldn't have an opportunity otherwise except for what they do here, then you belong here with us. And we'll do everything we can to take care of you. So thank you for the question. Yes?
Hello, President. Hope you're well and you have my voice. So I'm an international grad student here. So lucky, feel so lucky. But it's not the best time to be an international student. And my question is, do you have any specific plans to increase your support? We have a great international programs office. They are so supportive, but now it feels like everything is so complicated. Any decision from our perspective is hard to make because we don't know the legal thing behind it. And we need a little bit more support because it's not easy to have this much
I get it.
pressure.
Yeah. Let me just start by saying I'm sorry. I don't even really know how to respond to your question because I know how difficult it's been, right? The environment, the uncertainty it has created has been bad for us as a university. And I'll just say this, our enrollment's doing really well. International incoming students this year will be down over 50%. And it's just because of the changing rules. And it's just been very hard to get visas and get folks here. And I know it's been really hard for the people who have been here. The environment in the country is not anything I'm proud of at the moment. And I just say that I'm sorry you're dealing with that. And we'll do everything we can. We're glad you're here. Know that. We appreciate what you're doing for us. And just know we'll do everything we can to help you. If you've got a problem and the international office isn't able to help you, send me an email. I'll do my best. I can't always solve all the problems, but what I can control, I'll try to do.
Thank you.
Okay? Thank you.
Another question from online. In light of federal funding cuts, how can the University of Idaho strategically support long-established, federally funded programs like the College Assistance Migrant Program, recently discontinued after more than 20 years of serving U of I students, and the TRIO program, both initiatives programs that not only foster educational access and equity, but also reflect our land grant mission throughout the state?
Yeah. Well, I can't continue programs that federal government has discontinued. I wish I had the money to do that. It would mean severe budget cuts just to keep things going of everything that we lose here. So when we lose a grant, whether it be our $50 million, grant helping agriculture or our longstanding camp grants, we have no choice but to wind them down. Again, I'm sorry about that. I wish there was something else we could do, but we have to keep our institution strong and viable. And these are our federal funds that frankly are great if we've got them, and I think it enables us to do our mission as you've indicated. But when they're taken away, there's just we bankrupt the institution if we try to cover everything that's being cut. So that's the reality. I think we're doing better than most. I know that's cold comfort if you're in the camp program or TRIO program, or we're one of the folks working on our big, large ag grant. But, we have those hard decisions to make. And again, it's not a great environment out there. We have to keep our head down for a couple of years, and then we'll see what happens. And like I say, we always try to control what we can control. Anything else I'm even looking at my senior team. Anything else we want to say about any of this, the international or the cut grants? I got it covered? It's my job, so. Well, seeing none, I just want to finish by just saying, again, oh, I'm sorry. Thank you.
I'm sorry, I just arrived.
Okay.
Is there guidelines on what to do if ICE were to come on campus for staff and whatnot?
Well, we would like to know about it. And our Office of General Counsel in particular would like to know about it. So if you know if they're here, let us know. But so far, we've had, I think, we had 4 students, and I'll probably get the numbers wrong, that had been, either threatened to have their visas revoked or were in process. But I think most of them, I'm looking at Kim, I think they all, and Dean, I think they were all resolved, right? Good. So, we want to know about it, and we'll help in any way we can. So let me just say that, again, it's not so great to end on those kind of notes, but, just to put us back, into perspective about how far we've come and what we've done and where we are at. A lot of these national things are things that we cannot control. But the things that we can control, we do exceptionally well at. And that's the thing that I'm just so proud of, because we've been through some tough times here. I talk about it. We went through deep financial cuts because we were on the verge literally of bankruptcy, financial insolvency in 2019. We've been through that. We've been through a pandemic. We've been through a capital crime. We've been through big changes in the laws here in the state of Idaho. And now we've been through threats to our international programs and to our research. Having said that, we are still outperforming against all of our peers in almost every measure. Chris Nomura will tell you that we're still winning grants. It's unbelievable. And it just seems, that, as, the federal government, if someone takes away one thing, they give us something else. And I really believe it's because of who we are. We do live by our values. We continue to work hard. We continue to lean into all these issues. As Barry says, we run into the problem. We don't run away from it. And because of that, I think we're looked at a bit differently than everybody else. And we're performing differently than everybody else. Our recruiting efforts are first class. Our alumni are very proud to be our alumni. They're giving at rates that are unmatched in the state. So as we walk out of here, we've got a lot to work on. But I think we also should take a moment to be grateful for everyone here. Thank you. As another reminder, you're all invited to join us outside in the Student Union building for a Vandal welcome lunch. Yeah, we appreciate your attendance and engagement today. Have a great day and a great year ahead. Go Vandals!